What's up you guys, I'm Raspreet Gill, welcome to the channel. And do I have all your requirements lined up correctly? A car that looks sporty, is sporty, filled with power and tech to the brim, and can carry your family along with you. This right here is the BMW 330i. Four-cylinder that makes 258 horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque. Yeah, that's incredible. Hey BMW, I'm feeling really hot right now.
I will lower the temperature. It will be more comfortable shortly.
Now you notice if I press the park button, the gear lever automatically shifts back into position. I could just simply move my hand like this and it increases the volume. And then I do that, it decreases it, and then it'll automatically reverse you out of any parking space. So now you notice it, the last 50 meters, here we go. I've left the brake. Eco Pro is what we're in. And this mode of driving, it's definitely not sheer driving pleasure the way BMW would like it. And when we move it into Sport Plus, you notice that? And it's all coming out of a 2-liter. That is in stock, ladies and gents. So the car that we have with us here today is the 330i in the M Sport kit. It's covered in Portimao blue, an incredible blue color that really stands out from the regular BMW blue that's out there. The sporty bumper at the front with all these inlets, aerodynamic engineering, and makes it look so damn aggressive, literally the car that you want to be in the driver's seat of. Right there we have some nice bi-LED headlamps, DRLs at the bottom out there in the shape of a little bit of an eyeliner that you probably would find under an Indian baby's eye. Moving ahead, there's no washer or anything for it. You have a little bit of an inlet that cuts into it, gives a little bit of a jazzy design, and it kisses this black glossed up active airstream kidney grille right out here. It opens up and closes the radiator vents inside it as and when the vehicle requires a performance shift, and it stays shut just to emphasize all that aerodynamic engineering. Lets the air swoop over all over this hood, which now has a couple of lines that drop right down into the grille right here. Overall, the front of the vehicle is really aggressive looking, so if you have this in your rear view, you better be intimidated. Our fog lamps are in this horizontal trim out here, really striking with these LEDs that are inside them, encapsulated by this triangulated blacked out design. Aggressive yet again, a little bit of an air curtain out here that facilitates more aerodynamics. Now underneath the hood, all the magic happens right out there. BMW twin power turbo, 2-liter 4-cylinder that makes 258 horsepower, 400 Newton meters of torque. Yeah, that's incredible. Again, that's way better than the older generation that made only 350 Nm. Just simply splendid to look at, and literally when you sit in there. Now those 4 stripes across the hood out there indicates that this is a 4-cylinder engine. And the insulation bits are pretty much deep embedded right down there. Makes it really quiet. Literally no sound unless you rev this car and you want to hear that sweet roar of that engine. You will get it. As for the wheels, these are M alloys. 18 inches are what they are in the multi-spoke design. Really aggressive looking again. And we have mixed profile tires on this vehicle to give you a really sporty experience and grip on the road. But with all what's good, it's a shame we don't get M brakes with this one. Now on the side, because this is the M Sport model, we do have our M badging right out there. We have a strong shoulder line that runs all the way across the top, as well as an indented portion below on the door line out there. Now we have blacked out window rails, really looks sporty, unlike all that chromey effect on some cars. And right there is our Hofmeister King that's been integrated into the back door. At the back end of the vehicle, we have these lovely looking L-shaped tail lamps, fully LED, blacked out in the middle out here, and they're actually a split design, making their way onto the boot as well. 3D-esque effect. A little bit of a reflector out here. Another one on that side. And if you step back and you take a good look at the vehicle out here, it really looks butchy, masculine, giving it some good stance and width, emphasizing that this is some special 3 Series, isn't it? You got your parking sensors right down there. little bit of an inlet which is actually closed. I don't know why haven't they kept that open for more aerodynamics. Isn't that what they say? And then we have a couple of exhaust tips out here with the chrome insert. Real, that's good to see. And a bit of a diffuser-esque finish down there. Moving into the boot, flip that open that way. And right down there, we see 480 litres of boot space. A little bit of a hatch out here to store your things on either side. And down there, we got a space saver spare wheel. Yeah. But at least this time around, it's embedded inside and not right above here. So you're not compromising on anything except for that being a space saver. If you pull this rear lever, the rear seats fold down in the 40-20-40 split. Let's quickly get out of here and get into the vehicle now. Getting into the 330i's cabin, I'm greeted by this M-door sill with NASCAR leather seats and mocha. Really comfortable, well-off floor matting down there. A tetragon design in aluminum that runs across the dash. Everything looks so damn progressive and so damn modern and last in a BMW. Even the door handles out here to exit are positioned with a forward inscription. Seat adjustments are down here with side bolstering. And you got your memory function on that side. Overall, this one even comes with that M Sport steering wheel, which is really thick and lovely to hold. It's much more better than the older generations. It's leather stitched all the way around, and it gives you that kind of confidence that you could dive into corners or overtake anybody at your will. Cruise control, as well as the speed limiting option buttons on this side, and all your media command controls, voice assistant, as well as telephony on the right hand side. A couple of paddle shifters at the back there. You even have a little bit of an M badge right down there. So the steering wheel has reach as well as raking, but it's all manually done. The air conditioning system in this car is a 3-zone climatic control system, and it's got this really progressive looking design language with these aluminum inserts out here. Nice to hold or turn these vents on and off. Plasticky bits out here, but it's still really modern and contemporary looking actually. You have these aluminum buttons out here to increase or decrease the fan speed, and your temperature is controlled on this side, either for the driver or the passenger. Down here, I have my shortcut keys. They're all feather touch, and the moment you sign something, you can just simply click on it and then it'll show up right up there on the iDrive screen. Steptronic 8-speed gearbox. It's like a little bit of a nugget that's just simply popping out of here. It's got a little bit of a glacial plasticky finish. Unlock button on the right hand side, over down on a drive, and you know that it's been marked by this green LED that pops up right next to D. If I drop it onto the left hand side, that's when you move into manual shifting, or while you're in sport, this really converts this car into a whole different animal when you move this gear lever on the left hand side. Now you notice if I press the park button, the gear lever automatically shifts back into position as it knows the vehicle is moved into park, and I had moved it into manual shifting. If you want to do something nasty, you even have your traction control on and off switch. Parking sensor button. To turn off auto start stop, you're going to click that right there. You got your start engine stop button, as well as those main modes of driving, 3 of them that is. Auto hold control is right there, and your parking brake fits in there as well. It's a little bit of a storage here, and that's a couple of cup holders that is right down there. USB port there, wireless charging pad for your phone as well. So you notice the moment I just simply drop my phone right down there, it symbolizes it's charging, and it's even showing up right up there. And if I shut this, all becomes flush in that aluminum tetragon design. In terms of other storage spaces, we have our glove region, which drops down like this. And it isn't the biggest to say the least, but yeah, you could definitely shove in whatever you can. It'll just simply fit in and squeeze in right up there. The storages for the door bottles are sort of okay-ish. Max to max, a 500 ml bottle would fit in there comfortably. A little bit of another storage out here. And the materials around the cabin, yeah, they're soft all around the dash and stuff, but along the door bins out here, they're hard, scruffy to touch, as well as along the seatbelt area, it's hard and scruffy to feel. My armrest out here on the center console is also stitched in NASCAR leather. Mocha is the shade, and it's nice and long, gives you good arm support. Pop it open, and it reveals a really wide storage with 1 USB Type-C port in there, as well as a little light to keep it lit. Along with the anthracite headliner that looks so badass, I've also got a decently sized sunroof with an auto shade. Now as for the screens, this is BMW's Live Cockpit Professional, and I have a 10-inch iDrive touchscreen display out here, as well as a 12-inch fully digital driver's instrument cluster on this side. So now to control the iDrive screen up here, I have my haptic touch buttons down here that says media, home, map, communications, navigation, as well as the net. And I can either use the display by using my finger to control it, which is the touchscreen, or I have my control wheel, which is graced up in aluminum down here, and it's pretty intuitive to touch and feel. So if you look at the functions, it's pretty simple. You go in a car, just like the old BMWs, you get any driving information and you get your journey data. It gives you your mileage information as well as the different driving modes as well. And it's all depicted in a graphical form out here, which is really neat. Move out of that, you have your sport displays, giving you your G-force meter, the total amount of Newton meters of torque that's generated. You got your horsepower display as well out there, the coolant temperature, as well as your tire pressure up there. Get out of this, and now my vehicle status, this is what really gives me all that satisfying information that is really peace of mind when you have a BMW, because you get your tire pressure monitoring system that gives you tire pressure in each tire, and this is dedicated, so it doesn't just show up when you lose tire pressure, it shows constantly. Then you have your engine oil levels, and you get your check control messages. If you have any kind of problems that crop up, that right away shows there. And then we have our interior lighting, and there it is. That's our ambient lighting in this car. We have around about, I think, 12 different shades, and they're all mixed with a bit of white as well. So if you don't want just bronze, you could switch that up accordingly. And it even shows up out here just to show you what it exactly would be looking like. Get out of this. Now for the media, we have a 10 speaker 205 watt hi-fi sound system. I have radio, Bluetooth, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, the works. It's got it all, and it's all wireless as well. Got your navigation, which is inbuilt as well out here. You can notice the panning around with the touchscreen is really smooth and very responsive, no lag whatsoever. And then you can configure your driving modes. You can set up Eco, Pro or Sport with an individual setting, and then there you go, you can actually set up the transmission to be in Sport, or the steering to be in Sport, and the engine. Climate comfort, you can set up auxiliary ventilation that would actually cool up the cabin before you enter the car. And now this main home screen out here, you can actually customize the widgets that you see out here. For instance, I have my map here, or your media information out there. This car even comes with your very own personal assistant, which is BMW's virtual assistant, and you simply activate it by saying, "Hey BMW." For the assistant to recognize who's talking, there are a couple of microphones above the driver and front passenger seat. I'm feeling really hot right now.
I will lower the temperature. It will be more comfortable shortly.
It's not the most perfect. Now we also have gesture control right out here, which is exclusive to this M Sport model, and the sensors for that are right underneath out here. So I immediately just get into the radio. To use it, I could just simply move my hand like this and it increases the volume, and then I do that, it decreases it. I could even mute by just simply doing that. So this is really neat, because when you're driving along, you don't need to look out there. If you like something that's playing, you just simply turn it up this way, and then if you want to change the channel, you just simply swerve that way, and then it changes channels as well. You want to go back to the previous channel, you flick backwards, and we're back again. So this is our 12-inch driver's instrument cluster, really crisp. It's got an inverted sort of design wherein the speedometer runs backwards that way, and this in short shows the amount of mileage that we're getting. So that figure right up there right now, which shows 9.9, that is the amount of mileage that we have clocked. You've got your fuel tank information on that side, your coolant temperature on this side, and down there you get your clock. That's your range. Move it into comfort mode, and you instantly see it reddens up, and you can see your RPM meter now finally that switches up that regenerator battery information that was coming previously in the Eco Pro mode right out here. The screen resolution is really neat and lit. It looks really good at night as well as in the day. Quickly move it into Sport, and it's moved into a deeper red shade, emphasizing that yes, this is what this car is built for. Right down there we even have a little bit of an M inscription. Now if I quickly just move my broadcast computer button out here, giving me the amount of torque and the horsepower that's being generated by the vehicle. Got my G-force meter as well that shows up right there. I've also got my music information. Then you even get your drive mode information. We've even got our map showing up right there in the background. Getting into the back seat of the 330i. Yes, this is comfortable, totally. My under thigh support's good, my leg room is decent as well. Seat set in my position in the front right there. Headroom is really decent, even if you're above 6 foot, you're not going to struggle. At the end of it, I really miss having my rear sunshade out here. It's totally clean now, the design, and it's all soft touch all around with the leather stitching out there. Nice little aluminum finish out here with the ambient lighting coming along out there. And there's one more spot out here at the back where we do get the ambient lighting flowing in the rear seat, and that's right up here where the reading lights are at. Those little two nodes out there, yeah, they emit the color, and it's pretty much a slight flash that drops down whatever color you choose in the ambient lighting settings. A 10-speaker hi-fi sound system even continues out here. Got a little bit of a storage for the door, in which you can just simply dump a mini bottle probably. Take a look at this right here. We have an armrest that drops down. Got a little bit of a cup holder out here. Snaps open that way, rubberized finish in the middle, so that you wouldn't end up spilling anything right here. The star at the back seat really is this third zone of climatic control. Yes, you can increase or decrease the temperature as you want it at the back, and you can even direct the flow. Couple of USB Type-C charging points right down there. AC vents are decent, nothing too fancy about them. They don't really have that aluminum tetragon design at the back here. As for other storage, we have a little bit of a netted storage right here, and this is all hard stuff at the back to touch. More or less, it's comfortable. It's way better, way better than the older generation, and I think it's class leading compared to its competitors in this segment as well. The leg room is really decent, and I'm supported and bolstered up pretty well at the back. Now, while I'm comfortable along out here, probably another passenger along would have been comfortable too, but a third person, due to this heavy transmission tunnel that's flowing right in the middle, it would be quite a squeeze, especially for long distances. It's a total no-go. This pretty much is a 4-seater. Let's quickly get out of here and get into the driver's seat to do what this car really wants you to do, and that's simply drive it. Now, besides the auto park assist feature in this car, you also get a reversing assistant, and what that does is the car automatically remembers the last 50 meters that you've driven at up to 35 kilometers an hour, and then it'll automatically reverse you out of any parking space. So now you notice it, the last 50 meters, here we go. I've left the brake, and it just literally remembers exactly the way I turned into the parking space or wherever, and it'll back out for me. And there you have it, we're on the road. Eco Pro is what we're in. Throttle response is really mild. It doesn't even feel like you're driving a BMW anymore, is it? But you don't really get into this mode unless you want the best mileage figures, and I've clocked that up to 20 km per litre on the highway, which is way more than the claimed average that this car delivers, and that's immensely incredible when you think about power that's in that engine right there ahead at 258 horsepower, 2 litres, 4-cylinder that is, and it still manages to churn out that heavy mileage. It's phenomenal the way BMW have engineered this engine to deliver. Driving style analysis in Eco Pro, that's when it actually shows me how much of extra range that I've gained as well. And this mode of driving, it's definitely not sheer driving pleasure the way BMW would like it, but it's mainly done to get you the best of mileage figures. It has really less road rolling resistance, so the tires keep rolling far further than what it would in any other driving mode. When you take your foot off the accelerator or you lay your foot on the brake, that's when that unused kinetic energy is transferred to the battery, giving the car even more surging power to move ahead while you're getting the best mileage figures. The suspension is on the stiffer side, which leads us to hear these bumps, and the slightest of imperfections on the tarmac are experienced inside the cabin, sadly. Aside from all of this road noise that's coming, and that really questions that acoustic glazing that BMW has on these windows. It is audible in the cabin because of the run flat tires that we're using, as well as those 18-inch wheels. They're very desirable, but they have their own downside. But overall, the steering feel is really good. It's a meaty, chunky M Sport steering wheel. Pondering ability, the handling, and the braking, which is so damn important for this car, it just simply all falls into place. The buttons on the center console right out here select your driving modes, but it's kind of difficult to really figure out where your finger's going, because you do have to get your eyes off the road and then look down. And I would have much rather preferred if it was actually controlled even through the steering wheel and here if you ever needed it. But now on comfort, the car feels more agile and it's behaving more like a 3 Series right now. You feel the torque early on as well, and the gearbox is just simply shifting gears really quick and smoothly. You're getting decent amount of mileage in this mode, as well as holding up revs up to almost 3,500 to 4,000 RPM even at times. Added boost of power, suddenly a good performance shift, you're going to get that even in comfort mode. And when we move it into Sport Plus, you notice that? That sound, that's music to the ears. And it's all coming out of a 2-liter. That is in stock, ladies and gents. That exhaust burbling and crackling away. This mode is just simply the next level. Although it's killing your mileage, but it puts this wide smile on your face. It's just pure bliss. Just look at that map, that G map that was just generated out there. Whoa. It just simply grinds up and holds onto the tarmac and shows you what this car is all about. Steering feedback is so damn stiffened up right now. You really feel like, yeah, you're driving a proper sports car right here. Tremendous. Just simply tremendous. Some drive, isn't it? I didn't feel like getting out of this car one bit. And that's just simply because this right here is a thorough dream machine. Luxurious, sporty, comfortable, you name it. And to top it all off, it's so damn practical you could use it as a daily driver. That's the 330i, packed with tech and power to the brim. It really is tech on thrills. If you do like this video, do drop a thumbs up, and if you haven't already subscribed, then what are you waiting for? Subscribe to the channel and you'll watch more content like this, for sure.